What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here to talk to you about Star Wars Captain Phasma. This is a 4-issue miniseries by Kelly Thompson, Marco Checchetto, and Andres Massa. And this character you may not remember, but she was actually in a couple of the Star Wars movies. In all seriousness, Captain Phasma is one of those characters I think leading up to The Force Awakens, everyone was excited about her. She had a kind of neat looking design that differentiated her from all the other stormtroopers. I remember seeing interviews with Gwendolyn Christie where she was talking about the nuances of her character, and then we get to The Force Awakens and she's basically nothing. And then we get to The Last Jedi and she's basically nothing. She is evil, mustache-twirling bad guy, and that's about it. And I think a lot of people felt let down that her character wasn't something more. And I will say part of that is probably fans bringing that on themselves whenever they look at promotional material and they see some character design and they instantly think, oh, that character's probably really important, so they're thinking in their minds this is a Darth Vader level character, and it turns out it's a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett level character. But also when you have someone like Gwendolyn Christie saying how smart and intelligent her character is, and then she has, I don't know, she has more lines than Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace, but she's still not very important in the movies. She's still about as important as Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi. So whenever I checked this book out from the library, I didn't have high hopes that this was going to change my mind about the character. I had already pretty much made my mind up that the character of Captain Phasma was pretty much not important at all. She's just there to lower the shields down in The Force Awakens and give Finn a little bit of an antagonist in that movie, but really that antagonism isn't very important overall in the sequel trilogy. So imagine my surprise that I actually kind of enjoyed this book. Kelly Thompson, she has written some X-Men work that I really like, so I wasn't too surprised when I saw her name, and I was finding myself getting more engaged with this story. Basically, Captain Phasma is trying to cover up that she is the one who lowered the shields down at gunpoint near the end of The Force Awakens, and then she realizes that someone else has figured out that she did that. And so then she requisitions a First Order pilot to help her track down this guy. For some reason, he's leaving. I was a little confused about why this guy was escaping from Starkiller Base unless he knows that Captain Phasma is trying to kill him to cover up what she did. I wasn't entirely sure on that. It seemed like he had somewhere that he was trying to go, but they end up chasing him down to this remote planet somewhere, and then Captain Phasma, her ultimate goal is to cover up her own responsibility in the destruction of Starkiller Base, no matter what the cost. And I really like the story here. This is actually more about the pilot who helps her. I don't remember her designation, but Captain Phasma just calls her pilot through most of the story. And we get to see how she is viewing her duty, and then, well, there's these people on this planet and they need our help, and Captain Phasma is willing to help these people to a point as long as it serves her ultimate mission of covering up her involvement in what happened. So I really like that. And it does just barely touch on Captain Phasma's pre-First Order life. I do wish that it had done a little bit more of that, but ultimately I feel like Kelly Thompson was constricted by what she was allowed to do because Captain Phasma was not going to be a very important character. We were not going to see her have any nuance in the movies, so if she tries to give the character a little bit more background, a little bit more of why she joined the First Order, if she does that, you run the risk of her character becoming a little bit more, I won't say compelling, a little bit more heroic in this story. And ultimately, Captain Phasma is not a heroic character, and you don't want to risk turning her into that because this story, I think, would get a little muddled if she became more heroic, and then also her character would be very inconsistent with how she's portrayed in the movies. And I don't know if Kelly Thompson had any idea of where the character was going in the movies. This does say Journey to the Last Jedi, so I don't know if she was given any like meat about Captain Phasma. Here's here's what she's going to do in the movie, or if they just said, like, you know, here's the character from The Force Awakens, do a story, just basically keep her the same as she was in The Force Awakens. Is this going to be a buy, borrow, or pass? I would say borrow for me. I got this from the library, didn't pay any money for it. I don't know if I would buy it if I saw it out in the wild. I think this was a pretty good story that maintains the status quo for the character, who is ultimately a very flat character in the movies. I think if the character had been given more room to grow, or was as interesting as Gwendolyn Christie let on in interviews, then we might could have gotten a really interesting story here from a writer that I really like. But unfortunately, because the character isn't a very important character in the movies, this story isn't allowed to do more with the character here. So an interesting story, very well told, but limited by what the movies are allowing this comic to do. So those are my thoughts on this Captain Phasma story. I think it's just called, yeah, Star Wars Captain Phasma. Hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in the future with some more videos. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day.